always have really liked doing things in the water. So as a kid, I spent a lot of time with my family in Greece. My mom was an academic in the US, a professor at Howard, and she would basically take the summers off so that we could go spend time with my father's family in Greece. And so my parents just kind of let me and my sister loose and roam around, and going for snorkels in the water was one of our main activities. So I think that's what really hooked me into really loving marine biology, just knowing that there was this whole world under the water that was so different from what we saw on land. Perhaps coming from a bit of a multicultural background, I'm used to listening to people who come to an issue with different perspectives and different points of view. Certainly in my family, children were listened to. We were allowed to have an opinion. We were allowed to discuss things, and we weren't laughed at. So I think it's really being open-minded and recognizing that different people can interpret things in different ways, but also bring new insights and perspectives to something. I think that's really important in science, and I think that's important element of diversity in science, that people from diverse backgrounds bring new perspectives to science, and we're enriched by those sorts of different points of views. Diversity is important in any enterprise, in any science. Um, but I think that we all walk through life with blinders, right? So we see the world in our own particular way, and other people see the world in different ways. And by having interactions and spaces where we can comfortably talk to each other, we're enriched by allowing ourselves to step outside of our own perspective and maybe become more aware of our blinders. There's been plenty of research that has been done that shows that diverse teams and groups in science and other enterprises do better. They have more insights, they're more novel. And I think that's part of that process of um, listening to different points of view, and putting those points of view together to try to come to some sort of consensus. So I think diversity is important for ethical reasons, obviously, but I think there's also real benefits in terms of the science itself to be gained from diversity. Think my advice would be necessarily different for women versus men, but I think for younger scientists, I think it's really important to find your allies, and it takes time to build up a repertoire of allies and good colleagues. But you know, and those people can take many forms. So you can have allies who are, just your friends that you can share a situation with and just commiserate. You can find great friends and colleagues who have other skill sets than you, who are fun to work with, who bring new insights to um, a project. I think collaboration is really good, and to build up a core of good collaborators. Of course, trying to find mentors, sponsors is really useful, but sometimes they're not always there. So you kind of have to make your own and realize that, there's not going to be one person that fits all those different roles. But when you find people like that, like really cultivate those friendships, because those can be friendships that last for a huge span of time, for a career, and can be really productive. And collaborating in science, I think, is much more fun than doing stuff all on your own. And so I think that's a really positive way to go. Also, be really stubborn and persistent, because I think that's how we get ahead in terms of our careers. There's lots of downsides in science. Like, it's hard to get a job, it's hard to get published, it's hard to get grants. Like, what are the positive feedbacks? So I think you just have to be really, really persistent. Know that that's what you want, and try not to let those things get you down too